Hey everyone, welcome to Hokkaido here in Japan. Asahikawa, I think it's called. I don't even know what this place is called. I have zero plans. I have no idea what I'm doing, and I thought I'd bring you along to to show you and explore this little area of Japan with no real plans. I've only discovered one little thing about this place, but this was supposed to be like a little bit of a intermediary sort of like overnight stay with some like a little bit of a how do you say it, a day trip tomorrow. I'm a bit tired. It's been a very long trip. Hi Philippe. Hey Artorias, how are you doing? We've got some people in. Let me turn things around. So, as I was just saying, I don't really have a plan. I don't know what I'm doing. This location is what I call a hop over stay. In other words, I was in Wakanai and I'm making my way back to Sapporo, but basically the trip from Wakanai to Sapporo is like 6 hours on the train. Or you can fly like I did earlier, but I didn't want to fly directly. I wanted to sort of like go down by train because it would be quite cool. Because I think that if I do that, I can actually say that I pretty much done the whole rail network from the very north to the very south. Not all in one go, but in little bits. So this location, Asahikawa, by the way, for those of you wondering, I'm in Asahikawa. It's sort of like in between, or not quite in between, but halfway-ish between Wakanai and Sapporo. And the whole idea was for me to spend a night today. Actually, I'm spending 2 nights here. But tomorrow I'm actually going to be doing a day trip to Furano, basically, so only today. And like I mentioned, I have no idea what I'm doing. Michael, how are you doing? Bojo's also here. Haha, nice, awesome. The weather is kind of pleasant. I think it's about 25, 26 degrees. There's pretty much no humidity. It is a little bit warm, a lot warmer than Wakanai, that's for sure. But I'm sure the evening will be very pleasant, so I'm very excited. I am probably going to visit Tomita Farm. And to be honest, Philippe, let me turn things around. Because I actually planned this leg of the trip. I planned it back in January or February. So I have everything written down, like what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, with train times and that kind of thing, but I haven't looked at it since February or March or whenever it was, so I can't really remember off the top of my head what my plan was for tomorrow. Isn't that funny? But I know that it's planned, and I'm pretty sure that Farm Tomita was part of it. My initial idea was actually to go from Wakanai to here to Farm Tomita to Sapporo, but it was actually easier to do it as a day trip and stay the night and then go back to Sapporo. It's just one of those places. So yeah, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing here. Well, something's popped up. Let's turn things around. Something has popped up, and that is that there's a zoo that apparently is very famous in Japan, in this city. So I thought that, considering that I have basically been traveling most of the morning, it was actually, I got a limited express train. Let me get to the shade at some point and I'll explain a little bit about my train journey, because boy oh boy, you know that you are kind of very remote when train schedules are far and wide, you know. But I'm going to be having a very, very lazy day today here. Maybe do 1-2 things top. Maybe not really film, nothing. I'll just take my DJI just in case. And yeah, I'm not planning on exploring too much. Yesterday the last 2 days have been kind of intense in Wakanai. So today I'm just taking it super easy. I've just had a really nice coffee in a coffee store that was pretty cool, pretty epic actually. I wasn't expecting when I went in. It was huge, lots of space. But I guess that in Hokkaido you have the privilege, right, of having all that extra space. The street's definitely wider and all that, yeah? Okay, I think. All right, let's walk in the shade and let's turn things around so you can see. So this is actually the station. Asahikawa? I don't even know where I am, guys. Yeah, Asahikawa station. It's what I would consider a very normal-ish, boring-ish, does its job sort of station. Building. I'm talking about the building. Actually, the people in Hokkaido have been very, very friendly. Kind of. I want to show you the building, maybe go in a little bit into the Asahikawa station. Give you an idea. I mean, this city or town or whatever it is not a very big city. Check-in is at 3, so I've got a few hours to kill. You can see the tracks actually continuing all along, heading to Sapporo actually, in that direction. And as you can see, the station is just a little bit of just a very long, nearly looks like an office building sort of structure. And let me see what you guys are saying. Let me turn things around and read some of your comments and say hello to people who might have come in. I'm not wearing my contacts today. Michael, hey. I was visiting to Bita Farm. I mentioned that. No plan gaijin indeed. No plan gaijin indeed. Slick, how are you doing? Laurie is also here. Nice. Very good, thank you. Glad to catch you live again. Been catching you live a lot more recently, just down to pure luck. Well, I'm glad. On the whole, I'm not being impressed by Japanese zoos. I'm not a zoo person, to be honest, but you know what? It sounds like the kind of thing that will be very chill for me, you know? Sounds awesome, nice and relaxing, yeah. Traveling April, how are you doing? It's not hot. I mean actually in Hokkaido, so it's not hot. Weather looks incredible today. Stay hydrated. Haha. It's not hot. It's like 26 degrees or something, 27. I think there's going to be a high of 28. So, and it's not humid. It's lovely actually. Right now, it's really, really nice walking around in the shade. It nearly reminds me of spring in Tokyo. Like when you get those hot days in spring in Tokyo, that's sort of the feeling that I'm having right now. Lots of sun, yeah. Instagram photos have been amazing, yeah. My goodness, I've been, you know, the Instagram photos have been amazing, not because I'm a great photographer, but because the locations I've been going to have been amazing, and I think it will be nearly impossible to take any crappy photos. So there's a Demon Slayer rally going on in Japan, and you can see this is a mock-up of what the train looks like, and I've seen the train twice already by sheer luck. Check it out. Until the 30th of September. Right. I went to the tourist information earlier. She's the one that recommended the zoo. Then I looked it up online, and everything that I read online was actually that it's one of the best zoos in Japan. So hey, if it's one of the best zoos in Japan, hey, Mino Peaky Panish. I mean guy. How you doing, gay? I mean guy. This is your typical sort of exterior area of the station, I'd say. We've got taxis, we've got buses, and it sort of like does like a crescent sort of like shape. But what's quite interesting is how much space there is really. Because there really is quite a lot of space, as you can see, with a lot of outdoor seating, benches. Maybe it's something to do, it all comes down to the weather. Maybe it's all to do with the fact that you can actually sit on a bench and not end up fried. Right, let's see if we can go in a little bit. There's a piano in there also. I'm always looking for some hot mama-san, right? Hey Jamie, how's it going? Okay, this is the station. Just want to show you a little bit. Nothing super special other than shelter for when I'm guessing it's snowing. Wow. Some toilets. There's some little bento things here. Some little stores. Oh, check out those characters there. Oh, plenty of lockers I could see. That's pretty cool. Coin lockers, vending machine area. Feels very like, you know, feels very Japanese. And check out the map. So we are here. It's very clear that this is like the start of the city, right? Oh, what's up here? Is this a zoo, maybe? Interestingly, there's no English. Oh, there's a little bit of English. But there's no English up here, though. There's some English for the names of the hotels. Quite a big open space here. The JR tickets are here. Nina, how are you doing? Look like a random first, second grader navigating the station solo. Reminds me of old enough. I'm always just amazed by the cleanliness and how well organized everything seems. Definitely don't find that in Glasgow. And many places, not just Glasgow, many places in the world. Let's see, there's a stamp over here. I don't collect stamps. At one point I tried, and then I just realized that it was taking over my trip. So, yeah. Mina, how are you doing, Mina? We're inside of the station. And, yeah. Oh, there's a piano there. That's where I came from, by the way. This way, when I got out of the train this morning when I arrived. I haven't been here long. I've been here like an hour and a bit. I left my bag at my hotel, I had a coffee, and then I'm streaming. Let's walk a little bit. You can collect Pokemon on Google searches now. Really? What? How? Explain. Jamie. Yeah, Mina, I'm really enjoying my trip. And this is sort of marks my way back to Tokyo slowly, my slow way back to Tokyo. So I have Sapporo left after this. Back to Sapporo, I was there earlier. And then I have Tokyo, and that's it. And that's the end of my trip. My God, how? Armando, hi Nathan, sorry I just joined. Where are you right now? I am in, let me show you, where is it? Asahikawa station. I've just arrived a little bit ago, and Asahikawa is sort of like a town or a city, not too big, which is roughly in between Wakkanai and Sapporo. From Wakkanai to here, there are 2 limited express trains a day. One of them is at 6:36 a.m., which I took this morning. 6:36 a.m., that's right. I took that train, and it takes about 3.5, nearly 4 hours, 3 hours and 40 minutes, I think. If you miss the limited express train, it will take you over 5 hours, something like 5.5 hours to get here on the local train. So I made sure to get up really early this morning and head to the station to catch my 6:36 or 6:39 train or whatever it was. And it took me 3 hours and 40 minutes roughly to arrive at the station on the limited express. Had I missed that, I would have been stuck on a train for 6 hours, guys. That's right. Then from here to Sapporo, I think it's another 2 hours or so. Watching from Mexico. Amigo, ¿cómo estás? Espero que todo vaya bien en México. Muchas gracias por venir a mi canal. Throw the Pokemon, catch the original. Ooh, yes, post it in the Discord.
I don't see a Shokorocho in your contacts.
What the hell is going on? Is it hot outside? It's okay. Actually, it's Hokkaido. It's northern Japan. It's hot-ish. It's like 26 degrees right now, but there's very little humidity, so it's kind of comfortable. It feels like a hot spring day right now over here. It will get a little bit hotter, but I don't think it will go over 30 today. And I don't think the humidity will be anywhere near, you know, what you get elsewhere. So this is the equivalent of 7-Eleven and Family Mart. Seiko Mart is the equivalent of the Hokkaido. Check these guys on the left. I've seen a few teenagers now playing music hanging from their pockets. Japanese teenagers, not foreigners. Interesting, huh? With no regard for public nuisance, which, you know, Japan is changing. Slowly, but it's changing, guys. Right, I don't know, maybe there's nothing this way. Let's see, what is there in that direction? No. I don't know. Let's just walk a little bit. Some koinonji here from 6 to 23. Let's walk down one of these. I mean, the thing with Hokkaido is that the cities feel very Western, and they don't feel as interesting as cities that you find on the main island, because you don't really get the windy streets. Everything is open, you know, there's nothing, I would say, there's no little alleyways as such, if you know what I mean. The muted 2 short months into Tokyo, yay! Nice, Lori. The humidity and heat in Florida was bad today, no way. And then to make things worse, I forget sunscreen, that's bad. What's for lunch, Nina? I'm actually going to try and keep my lunch like really light. So I might just grab something from a konbini, or maybe even like an egg sandwich or something like that, because tonight I want to go to this ramen, another thing that the woman and the tourist information recommended. There's a ramen street here, so I might actually end up having some ramen tonight. And if that's the case, I really don't want to, you know, be stuffing myself at lunch. And I already had a coffee and a brownie for breakfast. Well, breakfast at 10:30. Oh, no, at 11, just before the stream. Oh, this looks interesting. This looks like a pedestrianized sort of walkway, is it? Let's check it out. This looks very interesting. Oh, so this is a pedestrianized sort of street, as you can see, which is a little bit unique. Well, not unique. I guess it's the same as the Shotengai, but without the roof, right? We've got a 7-Eleven there. It's all pedestrianized, so cars can go through here. And it seems to be quite long. Let's walk along it. There's some bakeries, a little bit of music playing in the background that I hope doesn't affect my channel's, you know, like monetization. Oh, there seems to be some stalls. The breeze is so lovely, by the way. Excuse me. Let me read some of your comments, guys. Ramen Street sounds good, yeah, I hope so. Ramen sounds good indeed. Have you ever met a Japanese that speaks Spanish 2 years ago? I finally accomplished my dream of going to Japan. To my surprise, I met 2 Japanese citizens that taught me Spanish. Yes, I have. Actually, yesterday in Rishiri Island, the girl spoke Spanish to me. Yeah. Thank you. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Thank you. €57.61 for 10,000 yen. I know that currently it's like the pound is like really good against the yen. I'm still considering like the October-November trip. I'm not sure if I can make it, guys. How disappointing. I don't think I can afford it. Just that the flight price is very expensive right now. It's about $200 above my budget, I'd say. Oh, check this out. Oh, this is so nice. Look, they actually have some outdoor seating here. Hokkaido, I've seen a lot of outdoor seating in Hokkaido. I'm still gonna keep to the shade though, guys, you know. It's just so much more comfortable. Not because the sun is burning me, but because it's just really pleasant in the shades. And in a few days' time, I'll be back in Tokyo, where I'll be crying out for lower temperatures. I've had loads of melon pan, Mina, loads and loads and loads. My first language is English and Spanish, both. I'd say that I'm more English. I know more technical words than in Spanish, like medical words and scientific words. I know in English more than in Spanish. Keeping an eye out for what we'll walk down this one end, then we'll go to another street and walk back. Doesn't this have a completely different sort of vibe and feel to the bigger cities like Tokyo and Osaka? First of all, look at the space. Look at the outdoor seating. This feels very, very like European, guys. I feel like I could be in Spain nearly right now, with the stores on both sides, the pedestrianized paved walkway, the tables, the benches on the street, the little sunshades on the tables. Yeah, this could be a Spanish city, easy. Could even be to a certain point in London or something. Wow. Very white, seems a lot more laid back, very laid back. Hola, saludos. ¿Cómo estás? I'm flying back on the 20-something, 24th, 23rd, 25th, 24th. I have to look at my ticket. There's a Mr. Donut here, thank God. Mr. Donut. Interesting. It feels very relaxed actually. Some sculptures also. There's a cat listening to somebody playing the saxophone. It's pretty cool. Right. I might not get to the end. I might have to turn back. I'm trying to keep it, easy today. Oh, this looks like something that I might be interested in. Let's walk down maybe another street. And we're going to get to the zoo. The zoo's about 40 minutes away, I believe, on the bus. So, and like I said, I'm going to take it super easy. In fact, the zoo and the ramen might be the two things that I do today, apart from this live stream. Let's walk on the street parallel to the street that we've just walked. By the way, I broke my gimbal. For anybody who has been watching my streams, wasn't last night, but the night before last, I was having some dinner, sitting on a bench, when a fox approached me and freaked me out. You can watch it towards the end of my stream. But yeah, basically a fox approached me, and then I sort of scared it away. I freaked out. Then it came back and it started like running towards me, and I freaked out also. And then I could finish the stream, and just as I finished the stream, the fox appeared again. I dropped my gimbal, and now I can't show you. Oh. But now, yeah, one of the legs of my gimbal is broken. So, unfortunately, I mean, it's all good because I can still use a gimbal, but it means that now I have to connect this thing and I have to carry this thing with me, all the time, which is kind of annoying because the whole point of this gimbal is that it has its own built-in, like, legs, which now I have to walk. I have to now walk with the extra little tripod thing. It wasn't yokai, it was, it's a good omen. Fox is a good omen. Nothing to be worried about. Something smells really good. I smell melon pan. Something smells really good. There's like a bakery around here. I can smell it in the air. I hired a scooter yesterday, guys, in Rishiri Island. I actually hired a scooter, and I have a little bit of a story to tell you, because when I was trying to hire a scooter online, everywhere was fully booked, everywhere. I mean a bike or whatever, a scooter, everything was 100% fully booked. And then there was one place that I saw online that basically said it was first come, first served, and that they had like 12 bicycles or like free scooters, 12 bicycles, 2 e-bikes or whatever, and that it was first come first served, and that they don't take reservations over the phone or online, that basically it's an in-person sort of thing. So I've got it all on video. I'm sure I'll make a little video about it because it was kind of funny, but I ended up actually getting off the ferry and running to the place where the bike rental was. And not only me, but there was another like 10 people also running. It was a little bit of a race, everyone running, and I was there sick for something like that. There was like 5 or 6 people in front of me and let me just cross the road. And basically when we got there, me and the other 4 people in front, we were told, sorry, but we're all booked out. There's no more availability. So plus the other like 12 people that were behind me also ended up without a bike or a scooter or anything, nothing. And it basically meant, I just don't understand why, if you know it's so popular, why don't they have any more like availability, right? Let me just plunk this down. So so basically what happened was everybody left. I went to have a coffee, and then as I was having a coffee, I thought to myself, you know what, I'm gonna go back and I'm just gonna ask the guy if anybody's returning a bike or a moped or a scooter or whatever at any point during the day, because then what I can do is I can plan my day and I can return and hire the bike or whatever, right? So I went back about half an hour after everybody dispersed, and I asked a guy with my Google Translate. He didn't understand a word of English, and he looked at his thing and he said, this was around 9, must have been quarter to, it was 9:30 at this point, and he said at 11 somebody's supposed to be bringing back a moped. Do you have your international driver's license? Which I did, in my bag. And he said, so it's still first come first served, so you need to come here early and you need to wait a little bit, and if you're lucky you'll be able to get a moped, an actual little scooter motorcycle thingy. So I decided what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sort of sacrifice the first hour and a half of the day in Rishiri Island, and I am going to have a coffee. I'm gonna go to a little hike. There was a little like cape sort of mountain thing, which I managed to do like in 40 minutes. And then I returned and I was back from 10:30 sitting down outside of the place, praying that my sort of like thing would pay off. And sure enough, it paid off, because basically at 11 a.m. somebody rocked in with a moped that they were handing back in, and I hired the moped at 11 a.m. from 11 to 4 p.m., which meant that I was able to drive all the way around the entire island, go to all the marshes, not all, but many of the ponds, many of the marshes, many of the land spots, like landmark spots, the viewpoints, and I 100% would have missed 90% of everything on foot, because there was no other way of doing it on that day. So it paid off, and I'm so glad, because I had an incredible day yesterday with my scooter. It was so liberating to just drive, and if you see an interesting, I saw like a little a shrine in the distance, and I just stopped for 10 minutes, like enjoy the shrine. Then I saw a sign for a viewpoint, and I just stopped and I went that way, and that kind of thing. So it really worked out really well. So yeah, that was my day yesterday in Rishiri Island. Let's read some of your comments, by the way. If I missed anything, you're gonna have to say again. Anyone have any special things or food recommendations in Tokyo? So many things, so many. Come onto the Discord. I prefer the normal melon pan, and I like the matcha place next to it, near it. One was a lady that helped me at Kappabashi while buying a knife. Nice. Another good news story. I hope you are enjoying Hokkaido. We had so much fun there. Yes, Chuck. Hokkaido is great. You need to sort of like change your trip a little bit and just go with the flow and be more chill. And I'm glad that I've done it in August because it's nice and cool. Scooter Day sounds top class, yeah, and I filmed it all. But I didn't actually film any of my talk. It's going to be like a narrated video, I think, or I'll use it as part of a video or something, because I just wanted to enjoy the day and not be there like thinking about what I'm going to say at each point. By the way, for anybody watching on the replay, don't forget to comment. You know, you can be part of the conversation a little bit later. I won't be able to reply live, but I'll try to get to the comments at some point. And please subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. I'm only one subscriber away from, I don't know what it was, 1,500 on this channel, I think. Like will also help, and all donations obviously help the channel continue paying for like eSIM and paying for transport and that kind of thing. So one of the interesting things about Wakanai yesterday was that there was many signs in Russian, which just makes you realize how close to Russia I was. Hey Philippe, enjoy your day at work. Don't work too hard. Stay focused. Stay positive. Keep on keeping an eye on the yen and the euro. Oh look, there's a Spanish bar here. Interesting. Oh, there's a Spanish flag talking about whether or not they could speak Spanish. I don't know. Bar Bodega Asahikawa Español. Jamón, ensaladas, entradas calientes. Dar a comenzar surtido de paellas, arroces, arroz cardero, interesting. We call it arroz cardoso. Pescados y carnes, refrescos, cócteles españoles, jerez, cava, interesting. It opens at 6. Maybe I can have a little drink here tonight. I don't know. Nothing sadder than a close bar. It is only 12:20, guys. You heard Portuguese in Nagoya? Yeah. Some places they do have that. Spanish restaurant. Speak of the devil, huh? I don't know what's going on. My watch is going crazy today. Get the cerveza. So yeah, I'm gonna start heading back to the station and get the bus and go to the zoo. Now, I'm not somebody who spends a long time in these places. I know like some people go to museums and zoos and stuff like that and they just spend the whole day. I will very quickly skim over the zoo unless an animal catches my attention. I'm not a big fan of zoos, but you know what? I'll take one for the team here, guys. I don't like the idea of zoos. There are some ethical zoos that I've been to where animals have been relocated from enclosures in other countries where they were, not treated very well, or that their enclosures were pretty bad, and they've been relocated to a better environment. I'm okay with that. But a zoo for the sake of a zoo, I'm not too keen on. So I'll see how I feel about this one. And anyway, I guess I can have a little bit of a little bit of a story, more experiences to share with you guys. The station is now at the very, very far end, as you can see it, right? Probably. I find that tourist information centers in Japan can be very hit or miss. Sometimes I feel that they're very robotic and they sort of have a script that they follow, and they don't really personalize their answers when you ask a question. I asked the lady where I could get a coffee nearby, and she pointed me to the Starbucks, which is fine, but maybe some follow-up questions would have worked quite well in that situation. What kind of coffee? What kind of place do you want? Are you looking for a quick coffee? Do you have time? Are you looking for a local coffee? I can recommend you a really local coffee or whatever, but just a generalization of the Starbucks. And I asked her for an izakaya, and we'll see, she did point out an izakaya. But from my experience, when I ask tourist information for izakayas, they usually sort of give you the most generic, fast food style izakaya possible, and you're better off asking an actual local. Talk about the Starbucks. Maybe the hotel would be more helpful, but I actually think that if I have another coffee or something later and there's a local nearby, I'll just ask them. Nina, the animals weren't too bad? Okay. Why are you scared of taking buses? Nina, don't be scared of taking a bus in Japan. I mean, most buses are on Google Maps to start with. And I mean, the only thing is that in Wakanai, Google Maps was atrocious. It was missing so much stuff, and not just that, but it was also, it didn't have the local bus service included. And then Navitime, that so many people go on about Navitime. Thank freaking God that I didn't follow Navitime's recommendation, because I would right now be stranded in Cape Sawyer. Well, maybe not right now, but I would have literally missed the last bus, because Navitime insisted that the last bus was at a certain time, like an hour after the actual last time. The actual last bus, Navitime insisted that the last bus was 1 hour after the official last bus. It just insisted. And Had I followed Navitime, I would have had a huge problem, because Cape Sawyer ain't anywhere near Wakanai City, really. And I don't know what I would have done. Thankfully, I did the logical thing of going to the actual bus station and getting the proper bus schedule and asking them whether or not the bus that Navitime was saying existed, and said that no. They were like, no. So I don't like Navitime, guys. I'm going to be totally honest. Navitime is pretty good for long journeys, Shinkansen journeys, but for anything local, flipping heck, I've had really bad experiences like that, like getting wrong information, wrong bus numbers, etc. So I mean, use it at your own risk. In fact, always double check everything. Even when I go on a bus, I usually try to look at the bus stop. Google Maps gives me a bus time. I look on the bus stop to check the actual schedule, you know, most of the time. Yeah, Michael, I think enough years to sort of like, when you're in the Inaka, you need to you just need to not follow your instincts, but double check everything, triple check everything, ask questions. Even when I was lining up and I knew that I was in the right bus stop and I knew that I was in the right sort of time, there was like 4 or 5 people in front of me, and I asked them, is this bus returning to Wakanai station? You know, like, right, guys, I'm going to leave you there because this is my bus to the zoo. There's already people queuing up and I don't want to be rushing and end up making a mistake. Talking about mistakes. I will speak to you soon. Thanks for watching. Stay positive. Be happy, gaijin, and all that. Peace.